Welcome to Wargroove! Alright, in this episode we're going over levers and drawbridges. It's a new Gizmo video that's going to cover some more ways to use gizmos building on the concepts that we've used before. For starters, as always, we need to change the map type. Let's go into Map Properties and go to Scenario. Perfect. Now, there's one more thing I want to do to make this a little bit extra fun. Let's make this in the lava biome. I'd like to see some lava drawbridges. That would be pretty cool. And since we're doing drawbridges, we'll go over here, all the way on the left, hit this triangle thing, and we're going to make some water. And by water, I mean lava. Because in the lava biome, water is basically lava. Alright, we'll have like a bridge up to here. And then this last bit will be our drawbridge. Alright, I'm going to click on the little lever thing for gizmos. I'm actually going to put a lever down over here. That's going to control the bridge. And now I'm going to pick this drawbridge here and put it right down there. Okay, the idea is that this lever is going to make this bridge go up or down. Now we need some locations, just like last time. So let's add one for the lever. Lever. Remember, locations let the game know where things are. So, lever right there. Now we're going to add a new one for the bridge. Let's call this bridge. And again, if I'm moving too quick, check out my first video on effectively your first portal. I go through these steps a little bit slower, and it'll give you a good idea of some of the concepts we're using today. Alright, we need one more location, and you might remember this from last time. This is going to be our meta location. I'm just going to call it meta, make it black, and stick it all the way up here out of the way. Great. Alright, we've got our locations, we've got our switch, we've got our bridge, we're in the lava biome. Let's go into the event editor now and add a new event. This is going to be our meta event. We've covered this before. It does this thing where it creates this location that will only exist when we're deliberately standing on the switch. So this switch will only be able to be triggered on purpose. And you'll be able to end your turn on the switch, even if you're already there, and flip it. So we're going to call this meta, we're going to put it on repeat, both players, that's fine. Conditions, okay. So I only want this to happen at the end of a unit's turn. That's important. Now what's going to happen is we're going to do something called a location Boolean operation. The location meta is going to become the intersection of the meta location last unit used, and the regular location switch. Did I call it level? I called it level. Hold on, let me change that to lever. That's just weird. I typed level. Why didn't you guys say anything? You're just watching me type the word level like, oh, ha ha ha. Sneaky will figure that out later. Alright, the lever is good to go. I'm going to move this up to the top. Alright, set meta to the intersection of meta last unit used and lever. So what that means is this new location meta will only exist when the last unit used is standing on the lever. So you ended your unit's turn on the lever. Perfect. Alright, that's pretty good. Now we need a brand new event that is going to be called Pull the Lever. Obviously, this is going to be on repeat because we want it to happen more than once, every time you pull the lever. Alright, let's add some conditions for pulling the lever. First of all, it has to be the end of a unit's turn. Let's make that clear, because otherwise this can trigger when it's not the end of a unit's turn and cause some weird situations. The next thing we want it to be is the current player's turn. I want current turn, current player. If it's not your turn, you shouldn't be pulling the lever. Makes sense, right? Alright, the next thing we need is obviously a unit standing on the lever. So we're going to do condition unit presence, okay. The current player has exactly one of any unit, but we're not going to pick lever, we're going to pick meta, because remember, meta is a special location that only exists if the unit is standing on the lever. Believe it or not, if we just pick lever, it'll cause some weird situations. I've covered that more in the first portal video if you're curious. Alright, so it's the end of a unit's turn. It's the current player's turn. And the current player has exactly one of any unit at meta. What we're going to do in this case is first we're going to flip the switch. So Gizmo toggle state. Toggle state means make the state the opposite of what it is. So if it's switch to the left, it becomes switch to the right. This time we can just hit lever because we're only affecting the lever. The unit doesn't matter. So we're going to toggle the state of all gizmos at the location lever. That'll flip the switch. Now, the next thing we want to do is the drawbridge, right? We flip the switch. Now we want the drawbridge to lower or raise. So again, we're going to go to Gizmo, toggle state. And this time we're going to pick bridge. All right, pretty straightforward. Let's play the map. Ooh, very lava. You can see all the embers floating around. I'm going to stand on the switch. And the drawbridge lowers. An unsuspecting Valder walks forward, but he's too suspicious. And Mercia gets off the switch. Obviously, nothing happens. We're going to keep Valder there. We go onto the switch, and it raises again. So cool, right? Well, I can't go. Now, the cool thing about this is you can end your turn right on the switch, and it will still work. Alright, now let's cover a bug. There's a bug that happens right here when we kill Valder. Watch carefully. Sorry, did that happen a little bit too quickly? It did happen pretty quickly. Let's add a third player so you can see the bug more clearly. Gonna add green finger and give them a commander on the map. Now the game won't end when Valder dies, so you can see the bug a little bit more clearly. Alright, we're gonna lower the drawbridge. And Valder is going to stand on the drawbridge over the lava. We should call him Bowser, because this is basically what you do to Bowser. Okay, ready? Here we go. Notice the bridge lowered itself and then raised again. So it raised, killed Valder, lowered back down, and then raised again. The reason that this happens is whenever a commander dies and a player is eliminated. So the commander dying isn't as important. Whenever a player is eliminated from the game, there's this thing that happens where the event loop triggers twice. Let me get out of here and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so all these events that we've created trigger twice. This happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. Only if their conditions are met, of course, but it goes through it twice. Now, because the unit is still in the process of ending their turn when Valder dies, pull the lever actually has all its conditions met. It is still the end of a unit's turn. It is still a current player's turn. And the current player does have exactly one unit on the right location because meta hasn't moved. Because of that, the bridge will lower and then raise itself after it had raised itself. So effectively, we're hitting the bridge 3 times. That's a little confusing. You don't have to worry too much about it. The point is it's a bug. Do we care? Honestly, we don't care most of the time, because the bridge is supposed to be raised. Valder dies, it lowers, and then it's raised again. And now it's raised when it's Greenfinger's turn. So really, it ends up where it's supposed to be, it just does this weird glitchy thing. But if you have multiple gizmos, and you want some of them to maybe, like, trigger a counter or something, this is going to affect you. So you can stop right here. This absolutely works. Everything we've done so far is enough to have a working lever and drawbridge. But if you want to get rid of that really glitchy behavior, I'll show you how. Now, credit to the modder and player Unicorn for figuring this out. So as tribute to Unicorn, I'm going to use the name of the counter they did in their original fix to to fix this bug. So we're going to create a counter called Unit is fucking dying, because that was what Unicorn named the counter. And it's going to have a default value of 0. Alright, now what we're going to do is every time a player is eliminated, so for example in this defeat condition here, we're not just going to eliminate the current player. Instead, we're going to modify the counter, and we're going to add 2 to unit is fucking dying, because it will trigger the event loop twice. Now we're going to do that for every situation, every single situation in which a player is eliminated from the game. And the reason we're doing this is because, remember, I said whenever this happens, the events are triggered twice. We're going to use this counter to track those bad triggers that we don't want. We're not really sure if it's a bug or if it was done on purpose to fix something about the game state, but it's really weird, and this is a good way to go about fixing it. So add 2, add 2, add 2. We're going to add this to every situation in which a player is eliminated. Victory doesn't matter. Okay. Now we're going to add one new event called unit less dying. You can name this whatever you want. We're going to add a condition that in the event that the counter unit is fucking dying is more than 0, so it's more than 0, what we want to do is subtract 1 from the counter. So we're going to, again, modify counter, subtract 1. Okay, so what basically we've done here is that when a player is eliminated from the game, they're gone, they lost, all their stuff disappears now. We have added 2 to our counter, unit is fucking dying. That is at 2, okay? A player is eliminated, this is at 2. We go down the list, and when pull the lever happens, we're going to add a condition that the counter, unit is fucking dying, must be exactly 0. No one is allowed to be dying, or it doesn't count. Then we subtract 1. We go through it a second time. The unit is still dying, pull the lever doesn't happen, and we're down to 0. Now everything will happen normally. That was a little bit advanced, but let me prove to you that it works. I'm going to step onto the switch and lower the drawbridge, and Valder is going to step on it, where he will fall to his lava-y demise. However, this time, the drawbridge is going to go up, and it's not going to come back down and then go up again. It's just going to stay up like it's supposed to. Watch. Boom. See? Valder was eliminated, and the drawbridge stayed up this time. Additionally, let's prove that the drawbridge still works. Perfect. Everything is as it should be. So that is how you fix that one very weird bug. Can we lava Greenfinger too? Let's lava Greenfinger too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna make some more Gizmo help videos after this. Catch you next time. I hope this helped. Welcome to Wargroove, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below.